Yes, sir.
Mike
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mike check 1, 2. What is this?
What's going down? We here.
Check, man. Check. Let me see some surprise boys.
For the quiet storm.
Right. Right.
Warm.
It's Power 94 shit, man.
Quiet storm.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We chilling. Welcome to the Common Sense Experience. It's your boy P. Got my man Chuck with me. Got my bro Amir with me. And
yes, sir.
We're going to have another good show. We're going to get it going. First off, gentlemen, what's anything you got to get off your chest before we get into this topic?
Shoot. Let's go ahead and send our condolences. Let's send our condolences out to Bill O'Reilly. He's no longer employed. The $85 million man. Let's go ahead and send our grievances out. Let's go start a GoFundMe page for poor Bill O'Reilly, who's fucking 68 years old, who was just recently they severed ties with him from Fox. So this is justice for the women who were, I guess, harassed and all the other rhetoric that he spewed. That he gets finally gets let go after 37 years of being on television. Shout out to him. Our condolences out to him and him and his family.
Hey man, let's not. We ain't gonna delve into too much into this, but let's not get it twisted. That wasn't nothing but a on the low retirement. This man sitting on $68 million, and fucking right. Fox. The only reason why they got rid of this dude is because he was losing sponsors, not because he was a racist, not because he was a sexist, not because he was a dickhead, but because they were losing sponsors. So he's taking a glorified vacation and he's good. So fuck you, Bill O'Reilly, but you know what it is.
But Pete, there's no reason. The reason why they got Bill O'Reilly, because there's no reason for Bill O'Reilly, because you got a 24-hour around-the-clock Bill O'Reilly in the office.
Right.
So what the fuck? Why pay this motherfucker? Bye. Yeah, we got you. We're going to pay the lawsuits off for you. We got you, Chief.
That's good. That's a good point.
We got Super Bill O'Reilly.
We got Super Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, man. Hey, Chad, what's poppin' with you? You got anything to get off your chest, brother?
Yes, sir. We in iTunes. Yes, sir, we are in iTunes.
Oh, yes.
People can find the podcast in iTunes, The Common Sense Experience.
Hey, say that one more time, man. Say it with your chest, man. We're on iTunes.
Yes.
We're in iTunes, y'all. The Common Sense Experience.
Thank you.
And, you can get it. As of right now, it's only available on Apple or iOS, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll have it on Android, so the Android listeners can download and listen to the podcast. But yes, sir, we are now mobile, and people.
That's dope, man.
Podcast, yeah, man.
Hey, shout out to you though, man. For real, like you showing me and me how to make moves and get on top of this, man. And that was a good move. And also, you can also catch us on stateofhiphop.com. Shout out to my man Avion Drummond. He's in charge of the website. Everybody, y'all check that out. Get your music if you're an artist or whatever. But we also got another outlet. You can check us out on stateofhiphop.com along with iTunes. So that's beautiful, man. Slowly but surely, man. We grinding.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Making moves, fellas.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. We're ready to dive into today's topic here. I got some shit on my mind today. If you don't mind.
Let's get it, Chief.
So, we all know what's been going on lately. We saw the Cleveland shooter bug out. Everybody know about that. Thank goodness he's gone. It led me to thinking of some things, man, about and not making no excuse for the situation, because what happened was wrong. The fellow elderly man that lost his life, RIP to him and prayers to his family. That wasn't cool. But it had me thinking about, something was deeply rooted in this man. That's something that went undetected, and it had me thinking about how the mental health community or the term mental health itself is treated in the black community. Like you see some things. I'm sure you all saw some things within our families or shit that was going on that make you question, like, it's deeper than just does he know what he's doing or does he know that he's hurting himself and the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really don't, we shun mental health. We don't talk about it. It's nothing but an excuse, or we know that we got to sweep it under the rug mentality. Whatever you saw going on within the household stays in the household. We don't talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it got me to think of a few questions, and I'm gonna spark it off with this. Have y'all like any experience with a mental health situation, or do you know any examples that occurred about this, or what are your thoughts on how the term mental health is treated in that community?
Yeah. There's a book out there that psychologists use to classify certain mental illnesses. I forgot the name of the book, but it's the book that like all psychologists refer to when they're trying to diagnose somebody for a particular mental illness. Mm-hmm. When we look at the history of mental illness and how all this shit came into fruition, it's kind of it's one of the things where they say, okay, well, this person can't keep focused on one particular task. Oh, they have ADHD, right? But if you think about it, we're all, to a certain extent, quote-unquote ADHD or ADD, whatever, I don't know the difference in the two. But right. Once they're able to attach this label to somebody, they can then assign prescriptions. And then, so it's like a big business, right? You can't subscribe prescription to somebody who doesn't have a mental illness. So if somebody can't focus, we'll call it, they'll call some shit lack of focusedia or whatever. Oh, he suffers from lack of focusedia. All right, so let's give him this prescription medication, and it's like a big cycle. And we know what prescription medication does to us. It does bad on the body, and it makes the situation worse because it only treats the symptom. It doesn't get to the core of the cause of the condition. So when we talk about ADHD, and especially when it comes to black kids, and these white teachers don't know what to do when they have a boy in class because they're not able to hold his attention, right? It's not that he has an issue with learning. It's like the way you're presenting it is not relevant to him. So, right. And then she's like, oh, well, yeah, he's having all these issues. He can't keep focused. He doesn't turn his assignments. And they'll then they'll label the kid like he has a fucking mental illness. Like, no, he's just, you got to learn how, you have to learn how he learns. Like, because we all learn differently. And so I think when we talk about mental illness, and particularly with the with the Cleveland shooter, was he suffering? I think I didn't read the entire story, but I think he was saying something along the lines where he was blaming his girlfriend or something. His girlfriend, yeah, he was blaming his girlfriend. And I'm like, all right, so what? And I was trying to find a connection between what the fuck the news was saying and what actually fucking happened. So it's like, damn, well, so what are they trying to say? So they're saying because of his black girlfriend, black women are driving black men to kill these people. Right. So, you know what I mean? Dog, man, this shit is crazy, man. It really, I know I went on and on, but yeah, so that's my last feeling of it, man.
Niggas be like, what's really the truth out here? Do we really know what's going on?
We got
you know what I'm saying? But, I definitely did get perspective. Amir, what's your thoughts on, like how that is mental health is treated in our community, and if you want to add to what Chuck was saying.
Mistreating black boys and black girls, or specifically black boys, is good for business for prisons. Mistreating all Americans is good, like Charles said, for all pharmaceutical companies. You don't make these products without expecting consumers. You certainly don't build prisons without expecting occupancy. And so, it's the mistreatment, like you said, the misdiagnosis. And like you said, you have these teachers in schools who don't know how to properly teach. You can't be from fucking Allegheny County and expect to fucking know how to fucking teach a young black boy that lives on Broadway.
Right.
Properly. You might know curriculum, but you don't know how to properly teach and properly give out good structure because you've never dealt with that type of thing. And this is what you're having. This is what you're dealing with. And so they're stupid. They're crazy. They're foolish. Mm-hmm. A lot of times parents don't like to get their kids diagnosed for that reason, but also for the reason of their children being ridiculed. And them thinking that because their child is called something, that's a reflection on their parenting. Or sometimes seeing in their child things that they were told that was about them as children growing up. So they don't want that. And so we do deal with that dynamic, and this is why, not to go too far, because I know it's, down the line of the questioning, it's going to be more, in line with what I'm saying, though, but we have to get definitely to the point to where we teach and diagnose and our own, because getting an outside viewpoint from us, that's something that's not within, is not conducive to helping us deal with our issues. Especially when you're not only dealing, because I tell white people all the time, yes, you may be poor, and I may be poor. You might be sick, and I may be sick. But what you deal with, I deal with might be the same, but I deal with it, and I'm black.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty fucking much. Pretty fucking much.
And that's just kind of, Chuck says my 2 cents on that, though. But, yeah, man, so go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's definitely, and to piggyback on what both of y'all saying, after saying all that, you really got to ask, is mental health, mental illness, whatever you want to fucking call it, is it real in the black community? It's definitely real, just through the shit we go through, just for the shit. And on top of what we go through, we're not supposed to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because if we talk about it, they want to drug a nigga, or they want to take a kid away from a parent, shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's tough, but I think it definitely should be an outlook or some type of way to bring awareness to it, because it's real. You know what I'm saying? And in order to grow, in order to step, and we're gonna get into that later. But I guess it's just to move on further to my next question, which my answer was kind of tying into. That's why I stopped myself. Because a lot of us, like you said, Amir, the parents don't say shit for in fear of what other folks are thinking women their parenting. And in a way, that's still kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, now you're not thinking about the child, you're thinking about yourself. So it's like a deeply rooted issue, but we seem to shun it under the rug. It's always, the family pedophile and shit in the family, and nobody's rats on Uncle Larry and shit like that. And, I could go into further dumb shit. But at the end of the day, do you think we treat mental illness as an excuse, or my bad, I had a brain fart, y'all. Pardon me.
No, you're
good. I meant to say, why do you think amongst our people we really don't acknowledge that is real? And that's nothing wrong with them. He's good. You just got to put a little dirt on him and keep it moving. Why do you think we have that mentality? Why don't we put this at the forefront?
Yeah. I don't know. I usually feel like, and I only speak from my experience, or in my not experience, but just from my perspective, is that I think whenever, because especially with us as being black men, black men particularly, is that we have some level of pride that we try to uphold, and being that society doesn't look at us as equals as other races, then we have to say, well, shit, okay, well, if society's looking at me, at least I can try to portray some level of mental strength by not speaking up or addressing issues that I have. And the second thing to that is whenever we bring up an issue, that means we usually have to deal with it. So it could very well be a part where we don't know how to deal with particular mental illness, right? If we're struggling in a particular area and we don't have access to particular individuals, whether it's psychologists or whatever, we just bottle that shit up because it's like, damn, well, I can't go see a psychologist for one reason or another. It could be pride. You may not have insurance. And so what do we revert to? We revert to drugs, right? We try to bury the pain through alcohol, through drug abuse, and that only just amplifies it even worse. So now that not only are we not fixing or addressing the mental issue, we're now addicted to alcohol. We're now addicted to crack cocaine, and it's like a big spiral, man. And I think the more that we have these type of conversations and start bringing some of these issues to the surface, the more, because once one black man steps forward, like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, another one is going to step forward, oh, were you too? Me too, man, and another one. So I think once we get that ball rolling, that more men will see that, hey, shit, it's okay to be vulnerable, because that leaves us vulnerable when we start addressing the issues that we're having, right? We don't want to seem like we're weak by addressing our brother, like, yo, fellas, I'm struggling with this, man, right? Because that on the surface it makes that look weak, but that's actually a strong trait, a strong characteristic to have, is where you can go to your brothers, or you can go to somebody and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, and what can I do? What can I do to better the situation, or what's the healing process look like? So, so that's my 2 cents. I can keep going on and on forever, man, but that's my 2 cents.
Nah, that's cool. It's crazy because you kind of went into the next question too, but it's all right. I had to let you rock because you was making a lot of sense. But nah, man. Just to throw my 2 cents on there for you right out, it's just, I think in a lot of shit in society too, man, and it's how we portray it and everything like that, and you're not supposed to show emotion and shit like that, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't be used as an excuse, period. It's real in the field. So that's my 2 cents. Go ahead, Amir. Same question, good sir.
Black people have been taught in this country for generations on generations the art of generational dismissiveness. And like you said, Charles, and speak of alcohol addiction, I got a beer right now. Keep it real with the public. but and being in all honesty though, man, in all seriousness, like you said, we have to have the addictions to kind of cope. And like I said, and when in the first question, the reason why I say we deal with the same issues that other people deal with, the clean poor and all that other stuff, but I'm black, is that only that we have to deal with the fact of the mental disorders that we might have as effects of just diet, as effects of shit you see on TV, but we also are carrying the burden and the past shit from our ancestors. So we carry that on, and we don't deal with that. So not only am I carrying on my shit that I'm going to have to deal with just from a day-to-day being on this earth myself, and then being black myself, I have to carry on my fathers, my mothers, their fathers, their mothers, their fathers, their mothers, because they don't fucking deal with it. And then if you try to bring it up around the family, oh, you are ostracized. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you bringing that shit up? Why do you got to do that, you fucking troublemaker? And so, and you know me, I'm the one that be like, shit, they need to know. Fuck y'all. My generation beyond needs to know. Y'all don't want to fucking deal with it and die with it? That's on y'all. I'm not doing that for y'all, though. I'm not. So y'all might as well just lock the doors. Do not let me the fuck in. Because I'm not playing that game. Because I realize it. I talk to my mom the same way. I talk to everyone in our family the same way. And even on the other side of the family. Because they'll try to say certain things and try to deal with certain things with me. And I'll bring it up. And they're like, oh, my, let's try to move on. No. No, nigga. Now, if we're going to move on forward, we have to go on because you never know where you're going till you know where you've been. And so that's what we're also dealing with as well, though. So the mental illnesses that you deal with, just dealing with, we can get into the whole shit with the FDA and the food we eating and the shit that's on TV, but just dealing with that, we carrying on that burden. So, you know what I'm saying, though? And so, like Charles says, the addiction, and, let's be honest, though. Most black men are addicted to sex, liquor, and drugs, and most black women are addicted to sex and Jesus.
Oh, man. Hey.
I don't need nobody but Jesus. Holy bitch. All right, Chief. Well, I know I had to say something. But that's, I guess that's kind of my 5 cents.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
But that's, I guess, you kind of answered 2 questions in one answer, man, because the follow-up was like, why do we consider things weak or amongst our folks, especially black men, like showing emotion or whatever, but that pretty much answered that. So I'm going to kind of flip it, and I'll ask this. Why would we rather keep the sweeping under the rug mentality? Like, why would you think we rather deal with the consequences of that than actually being the one that go in the forefront, split the wheel, start to clean up, you know what I'm saying, to get the shit off your chest and generations and shit. Like you said, man, like you hit it right on the nose, because it's deeper than that, man. It's 400 years of what the fuck was going on. Like, it's deep. But why do you think we rather hold on to shit instead of letting go, pretty much, and suffer the consequences of keeping this mentality instead of opening up more and trying to find a solution?
Charles, you want to go or you want me?
Yeah, I'll hop in there really because it sounds like you want to get in. So because, because I think because we don't have a point of reference, and I'll explain what I mean. So growing up, of course, especially with the public school system, I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Like, I thought like our history was slaves. Like that's all we were taught. Right?
I thought that was like the beginning.
I thought that was it. Like,
right.
Damn, so we came into the world as slaves? That's fucking crazy. But then when you look at all the accomplishments prior to slavery, we pretty much invented all this shit. Like, all this shit we invented. Like, none of this shit. You know that the quote, there's nothing new under the sun? Like, we were, all this breakthrough technology, quote unquote, they have today. We were doing this
we
shit.
fucking invented math, man.
Years ago. Come on, man. All this shit.
We invented math.
Electricity, lights, all
that
shit, dog. Come on.
Yeah.
Mathematics, algebra, geometry, all that shit started in ancient Egypt, man. Come on, man. Like, but if we don't have that point of reference, right? If all we see is a fucking Einstein or Thomas Edison, like, damn, well, they don't look like us, right? So where's my point of reference, right? And then I don't have a father in the house. My mother, she's at work, so I'm being raised by the fucking YouTube and Netflix and shit. Like, well, damn, I don't have a point of reference. So once we start growing, well, Netflix was around when we were kids, but even when we were kids, me personally, I still didn't have that point of reference. Like, my pops left when I was 3. My stepdad died when I was 5, and then the current stepfather, he was a beta male, so I didn't really much learn from him. So I didn't have a point of reference, right? So I'm like, damn, who can I go to? Because he's not, my stepfather wasn't somebody I would approach with an issue because he's dealing with his shit, right? And my mother, she's working triples and doubles, so I'm like, oh, damn, who's there, right? So I think at the end of the day, it's because we don't have that point of reference. And then secondly, even if we did have that point of reference, we don't know the steps or the processes in order to begin to have these type of conversations, right? Do we just go up to, hey, Dad, I'm dealing with this, right? Or, Mom, I'm just, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's tough, bro. Like, this is, I think this show, man, this particular episode, man, could be a part 1 and part 2, man, because this mental health shit gets really deep. And like,
absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like Amir alluded to earlier with the whole food, man, that within itself will probably take a whole hour, because when you look at, especially here in Baltimore City, like the closest grocery store, like grocery store, is like 10 to 15, 20 miles. Right? So now the single mother who has 3 kids got to get on the bus, go way across town to get some groceries and come back. So what do they have instead? They got these little corner stores that have these Debbie cakes and these chips, all the unhealthy shit. Right?
Old ass Wonder Bread and shit.
Exactly. These sugary drinks and all that shit. You walk 1 block up, you get all that shit, right? 10 bucks, you walking back with a fucking whole meal for $10. But none of that shit is there's no nutrients. So then when we talk about the chemicals in the food and the Kool-Aid and shit, like red 40, yellow 6, whatever, that's fucking chemicals that we're injecting into our food.
It's like you in a football huddle. Red 40,
right.
Blue 26, yellow 8.
Red 40, blue 6, come on, man. Oh, and then and just that alone, like just the food part alone, is what is causing a lot of the mental health issues we're having. Not only with our young black boys and girls, but also with grown ass men. Because like you know what I'm saying, like these chemicals we're injecting, and it's literally altering our fucking DNA shit, man. And it just makes fucking shit up entirely, man. It's like it's completely not how shit should be, right? God didn't create a bag of potato chips, right? So, oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. All right, let me be quiet, because I can keep going.
Nah, you good. Because it's funny. I'm glad to hear about the food part. You know, I definitely want to have a part 2 to this, because, like I said, there's definitely more we could delve into, and I think we should. You know what I mean? That's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it. But, Amir, bro. I know you're ready to jump in.
What was the quote? It says it's not that we are afraid that we aren't great, that we're afraid that we are. Something to that effect. You ever heard that quote?
Yeah, I think it's our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but we are powerful beyond measure. Is that the one?
Charles, right. I want you to never say that quick and to say, I think.
Oh.
That shit right behind his goddamn desk. That nigga turned around.
Cool, right in the wall.
Nigga went in. Okay, all right, fair enough.
You're stupid, though.
I mean, in all seriousness, though, man, I think that's it, though. But in order to get to where you are and to be great, you got to dig through a lot of shit to get there. And I think that's sort of the scary part. Like, it's scary as fuck, you know what I'm saying, though, you know, to go in the basement at night, the lights is off. You got to put the circuit breaker down that motherfucker. Remember when you was a kid? Go put that circuit breaker. No, something gonna snatch you out there. But yes, what you have to do, we have to go through that, and I think that's it's sort of easier to just not. It's sort of easier to dismiss it. And like you said, P, you alluded to, it's fucking selfish. I don't think it's intentionally selfish. Which, you know what I'm saying, though, you know, the intent is, you know what I'm saying, though, is, you know what I'm saying, though, it's like, what is 9/10 of the law or whatever, though, usually, or whatever, though, it's the intent. What were you trying to do? And some people, it's easier to kind of go ahead and repress that because, you know what I'm saying, it was hard to deal with that, and because it's taught behavior. We've been taught to do that by our parents and also by the people who brought us here as slaves, though. And the slaves that were already here, though. But I'll get into that a whole different time. But, you know, excuse me. Not the slaves that were already here. The people that were already here that they made into slaves. Yeah. But, yeah, man, It's like I said, it's like you said, like we said on different subject matters, man. It's just easier to deal with. It's more comfortable. But what are you really doing? Look at the detrimental effects you have. Look at the chaos that's around you. You know what I'm saying, though? Look.
Yeah.
Why is it helping? Is what you're doing helping, or is what you're doing? I think most people have been taught to progress. Black people have been taught to cope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just deal with it.
Right.
You're strong. You're strong. You're a strong black woman. If you're a real man, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You be about your business. If you're a real strong black woman, you don't need no man. Just cope. You're supposed to not have a man, black woman. You're supposed to go through shit, black man. That's what it is, because you're the chosen one. Oh, really? Well, if God, please, God, choose somebody else.
Right.
Please choose somebody else. I don't want it. If this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think God put you on this earth so that you could go and live on this earth, go through a lot of shit, and then die. And then, hopefully, if you repented enough, meet him in heaven. That's just my thought process. But that's what we've been taught, and that's how we roll. And that's why, prayer is more powerful than us, for the black people, than actually doing something about something, because that's what we've been taught. Just pray.
Yeah,
just hope.
Pray.
Go through what you got to go through here on earth. This is what it is. This is your hell. This is, your punishment for melanin.
Right.
And that's it. And then when you've been taught that, you kind of think that, you know what? How I am and what I am is what I'm supposed to go through. It's what I deserve. I don't deserve anymore. I don't deserve happiness here on earth. Yeah. I wasn't born to have happiness.
That's that religious bullshit. That's that religious bullshit.
I wasn't born to have happiness. Everybody else is, but not us. Every other race is, but not us. Not our children. I want y'all to watch a show before you go. There's a show called Where to Invade Next by Michael Moore. I want y'all to both watch that show. And this lady who I forget, I want to say she was from Denmark. She's a teacher. And she said she came to America, I guess, to kind of learn a little bit about our teaching. And she kind of was like a substitute or whatever, though. And she said the kids, the way they were taught and everything was just so wrong. And she said a particular community, but I knew she meant the urban community when she said it, because they showed, black students or whatever, though. And she was like, no, they've been taught they can be anything they want to be. And she says, you know what? It's a fucking lie. She said they're telling them a lie every day. They can't be, because the system isn't designed for that. Mm-hmm. She said the kids there, they're taught differently. And the way they're taught is to go ahead and do things and actually go ahead and participate. And she said they really sit down in class, because, you got kids. I don't give a fuck with teenagers. I work at a college. They're not supposed to be sitting down. All that energy still. It's supposed to be being active and then learning as well. What do we do? Sit in your desk. Sit down. To a 6-year-old.
Right.
Sit down for 6 hours, and then you'll have a little bit of recess and lunch. And at lunch, what are you doing? You're sitting the fuck down. Or gym. Really? So it's it's diabolical, man. My bad. Go ahead, P. My bad.
How you doing, man? Jay-Z had a verse, man. What they say? You know why they call a project? Because it's a project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And y'all ain't really knows pretty much, because I spit from the truth of it. I just spit from personal shit. Like, I go through that shit every day. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're stuck in a bubble and you can't get out, and it's just like you gotta get out. But if you don't stay in that bubble, then the checks start coming in and shit like that, and everything. And the mentality is you gotta do what you gotta do. Fuck mental health, fuck self. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. You run into that race, and that's not cool. And like you said, we're taught to cope. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is nothing but the truth, and that's real. So I guess, you know how we always end the serious topic segment of our show, you know how we do it, and that's just, how do we combat these issues, man? Like, what do we do to, like Tupac said, what do we do to spark the brain that will change the world? You know what I mean? Like, how do we combat this issue and reverse it to our benefit?
So I think having these type of conversations, just bringing light to the situation, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? There's other black men out here who are dealing with mental issues, right? It doesn't mean you're less of a man because you come forward and say, hey, I'm dealing with this. Can I get some help? Right. And so I think as long as we continue to have these conversations, that'll spark it. And, you know, so there's two levels. The one level is we keep having these conversations, we keep sharing the message, and eventually, I mean, we can get, like, with the advent of technology in its current form, we can, like, literally reach hundreds of thousands of people with messages like this. The second thing is man, like, we have to start growing. We have to start farms in these inner cities, man. We have to. As a matter of fact, in Baltimore, an area where I used to live, some people came in, started a farm, but they're white people. All right. I mean, they're trying to do good, but how come some black folks couldn't have got together and started their farm? You know, why would you have to? White people come in and do the farm thing. So I think even if we don't do farms or something to where we're opening up these small these small mom and pop shops, and we're selling fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, right? We're giving them the good shit, the shit that nourishes and uplifts the body, as opposed to this shit that just breaks us down and it just damages our cells and all that shit, man. So again, one is that we keep having these conversations, and two is, like, some way try to find or do, like, some type of crowdsourcing where, you know, you go into the neighborhoods and you deliver fresh fruits and vegetables to the mothers or whatever. There's some way of getting these people in these inner cities access to fresh, wholesome food. That's my 2 cents.
Amir, talk that shit, man. What's on your mind?
Like Charles says, man, start with the conversations, though. But then you have to start with the conversations on a personal, like, person to person, you know, whatever, though. Right here we got the internet at our fingertips, man. Just post. Yeah. Start posting up the conversations and ask certain questions, though, and this is how we can build, man. You got, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 500, however many friends you might have, or, Facebook friends. People aren't your friends. You don't fucking know them in real life. But people that, you know, you communicate with, you know, probably a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, if you're on Facebook or you're on social media or readily. So I think it starts with that, man, and then it also starts with, I was listening to a Kendrick Lamar interview, and he was just talking about, you know what I'm saying, though, you know what I'm saying, you can't change the thing until you start to change yourself. So we got to start with our own selves first, singularly, and being honest about some of the issues and tackling some of those issues ourselves, and so that we could begin to be able to have a place and a clearer mind to be able to go ahead and take on some of the things, though, and being honest about it, man, and being able to ask those questions to our parents, and if we won't get it from our parents, go to an aunt, go to a cousin. There's somebody that is willing to steal the business. Trust me, you know, and just search for that, and then you can find out, okay, damn, I didn't know that grandma went through this. I didn't know grandpa went through this. That's the same shit I be going through. That's this and that. Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? And you begin to find that out, though, okay, that's kind of been passed on. Now I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because if my child starts to have it, now it's dealt with instead of me being just dismissive of it. So I think it starts with self-evaluation. I think it starts, like Charles said, starts with having honest dialogue and conversations, just asking questions about certain things. And as we learn, we teach, and as we teach, you know, as we learn, we teach, and then we also have the ability to be able to go ahead and still be able to learn some more.
And that's what's up, bro. And just to, add my 2 cents in the segment. Hey, man, it's cool to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to open up, talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Work on a resolution. Work on a solution. And donate to what my partners in crime said. You know what I'm saying? And it's only the beginning. More dialogue, more discoveries. We got the internet at our disposal. Don't just use it for Pornhub and music. You know what I'm saying? I know I'll be sometimes but also get some knowledge in, squeeze some knowledge in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this shit going. All we got is us. And shit, that's what it is, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all delving into this topic with me. And
thanks for holding it down.
And we got a little segment. We trying to add the sports segment into the situation now. Sports show coming soon. I know y'all peeped the tragedy that happened to Isaiah Thomas for the Boston Celtics. Prayers to his family. Sorry about that. But y'all saw him still going out there and compete, man. I don't know if it was the pressure that because he's the best player on the team, and without him, and even though they still lost, he was still the best player on the team, balling out of control. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if somebody did, one of the owners of the association did come up to him and like, yo, man, it's all on you, and he decided to play. But what I want to know what y'all thoughts on that, and if y'all were in his shoes, would y'all play? Even if they told you, encouraged it, is you the best player on the team?
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. You go ahead. I'm gonna have to spin off for you.
I'm not an athlete, so I don't. That's kind of his peace of mind, I guess. So I would probably still be able to write.
Yeah.
I'd probably still be able to maybe do a show, stuff like that.
Can I? Yo,
game, I don't know, but I guess just speaking on it, like on a personal level, like it's like what Charles Barkley said, and I don't trust me. I do not want to defend Charles Barkley, but in this instance, when someone's right, you spin the wheel enough. You're gonna land on sometimes you're gonna land on a good number, and I was seeing him on that bench, man. I was a little uncomfortable.
Yo, man.
I was uncomfortable, man.
Yo, listen,
that's an honest emotion. I mean, it might sound insensitive if you put it in a certain context. You can make anything almost sound insensitive, but if you put it really in context, I was fucking uncomfortable watching that man cry on that bench.
Charles Barkley made it about himself. That's what it was. He said I was uncomfortable.
Right.
If you would have reworded that shit, we all would have been in agreement. But just to say, just real quick, because you said, that's his outlet, and a lot of people piggybacked off that and said, that they use that. To me, me, conspiracy theory piece sometimes. It's like when I saw that footage of him on the bench, it's like, dog, he ain't ready to play no game. Because I feel you when we have an outlet, you a writer, you're not an athlete, and you will write. But understand, this shit happened the day before the first game. Right the day before. That's not even 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? So within those 24 hours, even though that's your outlet, my dude, I don't know. So it's like, I kind of felt like somebody he's the best player on the team. I'm sorry to hear that, my nigga, but you got to suit up. I don't think I would have, I don't know, because that shit just happened, man. And when I saw that footage of him balling out and Avery Bradley reached out to him, I'm like, I don't know, man.
I guess for me, I guess I can only maybe speak from my experience and not to go with Charles Barkley, but to make it personal. But I guess for me, having experienced the loss of like two very, important people, your father and your grandmother at 4 and 6, my initial feeling. I can't say for my mom. I don't know. But I know if Betty's still around and my mom passed, probably my first, just thinking about it. I can't say in the moment, but just thinking about it would be to think about how Betty is going to be. Because that's 50 years of being friends. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I mean, not 20, not 10, 15, 50.
Yeah.
And so I can only speak for me. When death happens, and even if it's close, I first think about other people first. So I internalize it a little different. So I can't. I guess speaking on that level, for me, I would be able to. But like I said, like you said though, like I said, when I saw him like that, I knew, like you're alluding to. Even though he dropped like 33, which speaks to his greatness,
yeah.
I didn't feel comfortable, man.
Right.
I didn't feel comfortable for him.
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, man.
So it's like I said, everybody handles it differently though, man. But that's tough, man.
It is a tough.
And not just day for a playoff game, day for Easter, for a holiday.
Right.
It is a tough spot to be in, man, especially when you like a star player on a team, you know, and getting that type of news and then having to go out and still perform at a top level because it's the playoffs, right? If you lose one game, right, you can be. We saw last year you can be up 3-1 and still lose fucking finals, apparently.
We're going to talk about that shit.
He had to throw a little jab in, didn't you, Charles?
Yeah, he did. You know what the fuck he was doing. You know what he was doing. This guy, man.
Better cover all your bases, Charles.
Well, yeah, man. You know, I don't know. You're right, and both of you are right, man. I guess it really depends on the individual. Like some individuals will be able to take that energy and put it into the game and come out and drop like 60. Others will come in the game and they'll shoot like 2 for 20, and all right, we got to take him out because clearly his fucking mind is not there right now. Which is not a bad thing. It's just that people handle situations differently. So yeah, man. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, nah, man. I had like 5 questions ready for the sports question of the day. Then I saw that footage. I was like, nah, that's crazy. Cause you said, you're right. And you know, like Michael Jordan pops died. He retired and shit, and came back later on, of course. But everybody looks at things different. It's just when I saw that footage, I'm like, man, I'm wondering. They making this nigga hoop? Cause you don't look like you ready to hoop, like. And I don't understand, like, that shit, but that shit crazy, man. But, yeah, dog. Anybody got anything else, any thoughts, what's going on?
Just to kind of get into what we was talking about, the guy, and I like I said, man, fuck it, man. If it's on my mind, I'll speak on it. If I'm wrong for it, I'll apologize. I don't, here's the word again, feel comfortable in how all of the events went down and how it just seemed in my gut. Maybe that's just me. But I wasn't alone, though. Maybe it's just me as far as the three of us. I didn't feel comfortable, and I felt like all of it wasn't being told in the situation that happened in Cleveland.
No, sir, of course not. You know,
that shit, when they said that nigga went in for McDonald's French fries and went outside and then
20-piece nugget. 20-piece nugget.
Fuck it. Fuck it, a parfait. I don't.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah. They talking about it's craving.
It was nuggets?
It was 20-piece nugget, bro.
Okay, all right. And then he went in the car and then he shot himself. In Erie? Was it in Erie, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, in Erie. Apparently, one of the McDonald's workers recognized him wasn't he supposed to have been here though? Yeah.
How the fuck did they know that he was en route?
Right. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know many back streets you can take from Ohio to Buffalo. Hey, Pete, have you?
Nope.
I'm just saying. I don't know how many back streets you take it. So again, this is no way, shape or form or fashion making fun of the death or the killing and the murder of that man, elder in the community for that to happen. I'm not making fun of that though, but what I am saying is something don't feel right.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that too. Yeah, you're definitely not. I've heard other people say something don't. I think it was a conversation on Facebook, and somebody said something doesn't feel right about this whole shooting. Like yeah, we know, rest in peace, the guy died, but something about the whole
Godwin. His name was Godwin.
Godwin, yeah. And so something about so something. I did hear that before, and anytime the media push shit out there, man, you always gotta put that fucking onion back, dog. You can't people say, "Oh, did you watch the news today?" Okay. And did you research what the fuck they're talking about? What the fuck out of here, man? It's killing me, dog. People, oh man, and like somebody will post some shit on Facebook, and the person will immediately share it. And I've been guilty of that shit too. But we'll immediately share it without even researching the fucking the shit. Matter of fact, for the last show, we were talking about the whole history of Easter and where that shit originated from. So I posted a photo, but I captioned it saying, "Hey, do your own research. Don't believe what the picture says." Right? But that's what we have to do, man. We can't say, "Oh, did you see the story on CNN, NBC?" Come on, man. Those are that shit is crazy, man. Right. As a matter of fact, there's a show on Netflix called Luke Cage, and the dog that show has some really powerful messages in it. And man, you saw it, Pete?
Yeah, Luke Cage is dope. No, the first season this year. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said they did. I thought they canceled it. My bad.
Yo, that shit is deep. But I'm at the part now of the season where they're trying to set up Luke Cage. So what's going on is they got the media involved. So now the media is making Luke Cage look like a bad guy when actually one of the politicians, she's corrupt and she's trying to paint this picture of Luke Cage being indestructible so she can sell guns to the police force. But the media is putting it out there like Luke Cage is the bad one. Now just imagine if that was a real story. Right? People say, "Oh yeah, Luke Cage is bad. Luke Cage is bad," because they wouldn't go and do their own research. They'll just believe the shit for face value, man. So that pisses me off. People well, how do you know that was the case? You didn't even research. You bringing me this bullshit? Fucking research, man.
This story makes sense.
Oh, that's a good part.
It just wasn't adding up. Got tracking them. The fuck y'all mean got tracking them?
Hey man, speaking of weird shit that's going on, I know I like a segment. We're gonna have a segment called Weird Shit. You see that Hernandez killed himself, right? You see that the 6'2", 250-pound guy hung himself from a little ass jail cell, apparently. And on top of that, he wrote not one, not two, but 3 suicide letters. One to his girl, one to his daughter or mother, and one to his gay lover who was supposedly on suicide watch. So now they're painting this man as gay because everybody see this. Everybody kind of see this information that's floating around about him, whatever happened on purpose, so his daughter can get the bread due to a loophole in the law in Boston. So, talking about weird shit. So now he wrote 3 suicide letters, bro.
I want to go ahead and say that. Let me tell you something. Have they discussed any more about Sandra Bland, who they say killed herself?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
They ain't gonna bring that shit back up.
Not at all. And so, look, man. I mean, aren't we just at the point where we just stop and say, okay, let's really figure this shit out and look at the pattern in history? It's just. I mean, I shouldn't be, but it astonishes me how people are just so willing to just go along, and the history tells you not to believe these motherfuckers. The history tells you not to believe these motherfuckers. Not me. Them. Weapons of mass destruction. There is none. This happened. It's not really the truth. All these things, we're in cahoots with these people. This has been fabricated. All of these lies that they tell you, and anybody that challenges it is somehow causing trouble. It's like people were really getting mad. Like one girl, she's we cool as hell though. She's using the word, they throw around the word like Hotep. Now Hotep is an offensive term now. You know what I'm saying though, and it's just crazy. To anything that's of course of African ancestry is bad. Some people go too far, but shit, some people go far too far in the other aspect. And you just don't question nothing, huh?
you just believe it.
Absolutely nothing.
Tell that motherfucker one day it was raining diamonds. He was like, really? Raining diamonds? Oh shit! You mean literally? Yeah, motherfucker, literally. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, people it's insanity. So it's like when you say about the guy, there's gonna be people they're gonna create a story. He was crazy. He did this. Let me tell you something. If a person writes a letter, a suicide letter, and then writes a second letter, that motherfucker didn't want to kill himself.
Right.
When he writes the third letter, you can bet your bottom dollar he didn't kill himself.
Right. I'm putting that shit in one. Look, I'm putting that shit in one paragraph.
That nigga was just writing a book.
That man strategically committed suicide, though. He was strategically. Like, I'm gonna write these letters. Let me write these letters.
Hung himself in chapters.
Wait, nah. All right, let me stop. I'm about to say some ignorant shit, man.
Man, look, it's not that it's ignorant. It's just you almost have to laugh to get past the fact that how fucking bold and how fucking dumb they think we are.
I got it, yo. Yeah, I got it, son. This is what he did, right? He hung himself, brought himself back to life. He brought himself back to life, wrote a second suicide letter, hung himself again, brought himself back, and then wrote the third letter. And at that point, he slit his wrist, and then he hung himself.
All right.
That
ain't nothing wrong with that. All right. Man, that's what's up, man.
That shit is crazy.
This shit is fucking done.
Jesus Christ, man. It's crazy, man. It's absolute insanity. I didn't even know about that story, though, Pete, though, but it just speaks yet to another thing, that we just go along with. Just believe, man.
Wow, man.
It's fucking insanity, yo.
Crazy.
Oh, Pete, what was it about the whole Janet? Before we go, what was it about Janet Jackson issue?
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah, man. I was just curious, man. Is Janet Jackson a gold digger, man? I'm just curious. Yeah, so she married the billionaire Muslim dude or whatever, and they had some type of shit drawn up where if the marriage lasts over such and such a time and it's ended, she get a certain amount of bread. So she ended it exactly 5 years and 2 days, right? Like damn near on the dotted line to get like damn near $200 million. Is like pretty much guaranteed for her to get. So I was just like, come on. I'm like, nobody's saying this shit. Like, I get it. She's Janet. She the queen. We, respect. We all want to Janet. She's beautiful, did her thing. She's Jackson. But I'm like, nobody keep the L move. I'm like, that was the L move. I'm like, shit, maybe I'll be a gold digger for $200 million. I don't know, but I'm like, we're not going to acknowledge that. We're not going to acknowledge the fact that Janet Jackson just got a hustle man on for $200 million.
I mean, I wanna give a huge shout out to Janet Jackson for hey, if you're gonna go ahead and sell your pussy out and go ahead and go for it, then $200 million is the way to go. But I also want to give a huge disappointment because I didn't know that she makes more than him. Serena, you weren't supposed to get pregnant, bitch.
Oh, man.
Serena, you weren't supposed to get pregnant, bitch. This nigga about to get money out your ass, out the ass crack.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, he's supposed to be that good, too, now. He like the creator of some shit. I don't know. But I didn't want to talk about that, man. I didn't bring that up, man. Goddamn, for a reason. That's like, oh, man, yo.
Amir.
Yeah.
Yo, man, but, yeah, man, as far as that bad look, man, I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, it is what it is, though, but she just had a kid. Didn't she just have a kid, too, right?
Yeah, man. She got a son. They got a seed together. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it'll move. I was just making sure we acknowledge the move. Like, the move happened.
I mean, the Jackson family should have the rights to Michael's catalog and all that stuff, though, but, you know, shame she got to make a move like that to go and get up on some bread, though, but do your thing.
Hey, no. Hey, man, before we close the show, man, anybody got some things we promote or last minute shout-outs or anything you want to get off your chest when we end it?
Man, listen, Ace of All Trades Apparel, our boy Jay Moore, check that out, Ace of All Trades Apparel. On Facebook, he also has the website, so everybody go check that out, man. There's a clothing line, one joint, white shirt, O.J. Simpson, Hometown Hero joint, and then forgot what the other name of the other shirt, though, and he has plenty of other shirts coming out, though, man, you know what I mean? So, yeah, go and check out the clothing line, though, man. It's about to spark off, and check out Charles, you know, talking about the intellectual dummies.
Yeah. So we so I was going to give a shout out to the intellectual dummies. It's a show I do with my cousin. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. So be sure to check that out. We talk about a whole lot of shit on that fucking thing. That nigga's crazy, man. Yo, if y'all ain't listened to the last show, man, y'all need to listen in, man. My cousin is fucking crazy, dog. It's not the way he sees and views situations is completely different than anybody else's. I respect him for his conviction and his belief, but me personally, some of that shit just be way off the rocker, man. So Intellectual Dummies, 9 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Be sure to check that out.
So, yo, I'm gonna give a shout out to us, my nigga. Check us out, the Common Six Experience, every Friday, 8 a.m. You know, check out our last recent episode was the origins of Easter. That kind of went in. We delved into some serious shit right there. I believe this week we accomplished the same thing, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So the Common Sense Experience every Friday, 8 a.m. And you know, 2 fingers means peace. And appreciate y'all, man.
God loves y'all, barely tolerate y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. Common Sense Experience, baby. Black Podcast Network.
We out.
All right. Peace.